today I'm going to show you how you can do this matte brown cut crease step by step so it can be easy for you to recreate. So if you're a beginner, I really hope this tutorial is helpful. And we're going to get started with the first step, which is the primer for the eyeshadows. I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Cosmetics Camo Concealer. I'm going to blend it out with the sponge that's also from e.l.f. Cosmetics, but you can also use your finger. Just blend it out in tapping motions on the eyelid all the way up to your brow bone and make sure everything is nice and blended and the tone is even on the eyelid before you move on to the next step. And I will be using tape again on the outer part because it's just gonna help so much for this style of eyeshadows. So if you're a beginner, you don't want to skip this step. And today I'm going to be using this Mirage eyeshadow palette from Profusion. I'm going to grab the light brown eyeshadow using a brush that's also from Profusion, number ES6. And I'm going to apply this all over my crease. I do want it above my crease, so I'm going to keep adding layers, and I'm applying it from the inner corner to the outer corner, and it's like the shape of a rainbow from corner to corner. And it's not a dark eyeshadow, so it's going to be really easy to blend out, and you can also use your bronzer for this part right here. Just make sure it's nice and blended above the crease, because when we do the cut crease, the edge of the cut crease also has to go above the crease, so this eyeshadow has to go even higher than that. So just keep blending it out and keep adding layers until you like how it looks. And I will be extending it just a little bit towards the top of the eyebrow, not too much, and it doesn't matter how it's looking on the eyelid, just focus on what's on the crease and above that. I'm going to be using the same concealer from e.l.f. Cosmetics. The flat brush is from Anastasia number 18, and I'm going to start with a dot right above the roots of my eyelashes, just on the center, and then I'm going to look up and you can see that it transfers above the crease, and that's how I like to start my cut creases. It's very important, and it's going to help you so much to using a flat brush. It's just going to make it a lot easier to do the edge of the cut crease, and just keep looking up to make sure that it is above the crease. Then I'm going to stop just a little bit past the center, and you can see that when I look up, the edge of the cut crease is following the wrinkle, like where my eyelids fold. That little wrinkle there, it just looks even from the inner part all the way up to the outer, like a little bit past the center. I just like to use that wrinkle to make sure that the cut crease looks nice and even. And then I'm going to add a little more of the concealer on the rest of my eyelid, but I'm also going to stop on the same spot, just a little bit past the center of the eyelid, but it has to look nice and blended. So with whatever's left on the brush, making sure it's not too much, I'm going to start blending it out into tapping motions, and you can see that the concealer will move just a little bit more towards the outer part of the eyelid, but it's already looking nice and blended, which is very important because you want the eyeshadows that you apply on top of that to also blend out really good. So make sure this is blended out, and just don't go past the outer corner of your eye. You want to keep this right on top of the outer part of your eyelid. Then I'm going to use the pressed powder from Urban Decay to set the concealer. You want to do this really quick before it dries up. That way it doesn't move on the little wrinkles, and you want it to look nice. So you have to set it before it dries up. And you can also use translucent powder or a matte eyeshadow that's the same shade as your skin tone, or just any light eyeshadow. Then I'm going to grab this dark brown eyeshadow using a smaller brush. This one's from Rimmel, and I'm going to start the smoky eyeliner. So right above the roots of the eyelashes from the outer part and just a little bit past the center of my eyelid, making it thinner in that area right there, and then towards the outer part just a little bit thicker, but you want it to look nice and blended, so no harsh lines at all. Then I'm going to grab more, but this time I'm only going to keep it on the outer part of my eyelid. So starting with the little dot right there, I'm going to blend it up towards my eyebrows just a little bit. I don't want that area too dark. I just want the outer part of my eyelid a little bit darker, and then you can start seeing that eyeshadow blended out like at an angle like that, and that's how I want to leave it. And you want this part to be blended out really good. So what I like to do is I use the same little brush. I just make sure I don't have too much product on the brush, and then start kind of dragging it towards the center and the inner part of my eyelid, but like I said, leaving it angled like this, and just very lightly you keep blending it out. So this is a part where I spend a little more time blending it out because it is a darker eyeshadow, and I'm not going to apply any more eyeshadows on top of this, so it has to look nice and blended. And then I'm also going to extend it just a little bit towards the tail of the eyebrow, so I'm going to grab a little more and apply it again on the outer part of my eyelid, and then very lightly and very slowly start extending it towards the tail of the eyebrow. Then I'm going to grab this black eyeliner from Rimmel and do a very thin liner starting from the outer part of my eye and then just a little bit past the center of my eyelid, but nothing on the inner part. And then on the center right there, I'm going to make it as thin as I can, and towards the outer part just a little bit thicker. Then I'm going to set this with a black eyeshadow. I used the eyeliner first because I wanted it to look very, very dark. And then setting it with the black eyeshadow is gonna help to make it last all day and all night. So make sure you set it really good and make sure you use a very small brush. This one's from Shein. And then I will do a winged eyeliner. So with whatever is left on the brush, I'm going to start extending it. So right here, I'm not using the black eyeliner. I'm just using black eyeshadow to extend it just a little bit because I want something very small and simple, but it just depends how dramatic you want your eyeliner to be. But I'm just going to extend it just a little bit more. And like I said, having the tape right there is going to help you so much for this part right here. And if you have small eyes or hooded eyes, I always recommend to start with something very thin and small in case you don't like how it looks on your eye. And if you want it a bit more dramatic, it's just very easy to just keep adding more eyeshadow. And you can leave it like that if you want. I did apply fake eyelashes, but you can just leave your natural lashes because this makeup also looks really good with just your natural lashes. But you can see with the lower lash line, the brown eyeshadow, the black eyeliner, and the mascara, it does make it a bit more dramatic. So you can skip all of that if you want because it already looks nice just like that. But I'm going to apply the the brown eyeshadow on my lower lash line from the inner corner to the outer corner, and I'm applying this as close to the lash line as I can because I don't want to make it too thick. And then I'm going to apply the black eyeliner. It's the same one from Rimmel, which is very, very dark, very pigmented and creamy. So I really love this eyeliner, and it will make my eyes look just a little bit smaller, but that's okay because I love how that looks. So if you don't want that, just skip the step. And then for the last step, it's going to be the mascara. I'm using the e.l.f. Cosmetics Big Mood Waterproof Mascara on my lower lashes. And for this, since the eyeshadows are brown, you can literally go with any lipstick, like lip color that you want and whatever clothes you want. But I do recommend just a nude just because the eyeshadows are a bit dramatic, but that's just my opinion. So let me know in the comments below what you think of the completed look. I really hope this tutorial was helpful. Please share it with your friends and your family if you did like this makeup. Thank you all so much for your love and your support. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!